Hi children, I am Shushmita. Welcome back to watch an important topic in this video. Our earth has abundant natural resources. In previous classes, you have learned about natural resources like water, soil, forest, flora, fauna, etc. and their conservation. Are we managing natural resources properly? The pollution of natural resources occurs as a result of human activities. What efforts have to be made to sustain and save our natural resources? Let us focus on learning in detail about the topic water from the lesson Natural Resources from class 10th Biology. After the completion of this lesson, you will be able to know pollution of water resources, case studies on water management, water harvesting, keywords, Ganga Action Plan, coliform bacteria, percolation tanks, micro irrigation, dams, water harvesting. Let us observe the concept map on water as a natural resource. You already have some knowledge about environmental problems. There are international and national laws, regulations, and acts for environmental protection. Many national and international organizations are working towards protecting our environment. The famous river in India is Ganga, which runs over 2,500 km from Gangotri in the Himalayas to Ganga Sagar in the Bay of Bengal. It is a water resource for more than 100 towns and cities in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal. Human activities like bathing, washing clothes, and immersion of ashes or unburnt corpses cause pollution. The industries pollute by releasing chemical effluents into Ganga, and the toxicity kills fish and other aquatic organisms. Do you know about the Ganga Action Plan? This project came into action in 1985 to improve the quality of the water in the Ganga. The poor quality is due to the presence of coliform bacteria, which are commonly found in human intestines. The presence of Coliforms in water indicates contamination by disease causing microorganisms. Namami Gange program is an integrated conservation mission approved as a flagship program by the Union government in June 2014. It was launched with the twin objectives of effective prevention of pollution, conservation, and rejuvenation of river Ganga. The National Mission for Clean Ganga was launched in October 2016. Let us see the comparative study of water resources from two villages, Vanaparthi and Vaddicherla of the Warangal district of Telangana region. The first village has no scarcity and the second has scarce groundwater. Well irrigation is the major source of water supply in both villages. There are no alternative sources of water supply except wells in Vaddicherla. An existing tank has been converted into a percolation tank in Vanaparthi. Percolation tanks are dams made using a mixture of soil, silt, loam, clay, sand, and gravel, and lead in layers at the base or bed and sides. It is properly compacted and outlets for surface irrigation are made below the bunt or dam. Both the villages Vanaparthi and Vaddicherla are almost similar in occupational pattern, cropping pattern, infrastructure, and social services. The main livelihood activity in these villages is cultivation, and the household income depends on the status of groundwater. Vanaparthi has a higher proportion of its area under irrigation. Though rainfall is inconsistent, the farmers prefer growing paddy. Most of the open dug wells were converted into bore wells with greater depths of groundwater zones to reduce the water loss by surface evaporation. Water is usually pumped out of wells and bore wells using electricity, increasing the capital expenditure on cultivation. Overexploitation of groundwater in the state by the construction of deep tube wells and bore wells resulted in the depletion of groundwater resources. A project of the Center for World Solidarity, Secunderabad, AP, addresses the sustainability of groundwater by recharging wells that were drying up in the villages. Farmers were motivated to use drip irrigation, sprinklers, etc., called micro irrigation techniques. The construction of soak pits to trap rainwater optimally was carried out as a community effort. Water for all. The total Earth's water contains salt water in oceans, seas, and saline groundwater about 97%, and only 2.5 to 2.75% is fresh water. Fresh water includes 1.75 to 2% frozen in glaciers, ice, and snow, 0.7 to 0.8% as groundwater and soil moisture, and less than 0.01% surface water in lakes, swamps, and rivers. Despite little rainfall, failure to sustain underground water availability is due to the loss of vegetation cover. Diversion for high water demanding crops and pollution from industrial effluents and urban wastes. A survey of Kottapalli village water resources revealed that dry land areas were more extensive than irrigated land. Low literacy and scarce labor in the village made them use more fertilizers, pesticides on small farms. This resulted in low crop yields and no water harvesting structure in the village. The International Crop Research Institute for Semi-Arid Tropics, ICRISAT, educated villagers and provided technical support for cost-efficient water storage and soil conservation structures. The measures were community and farmer-based interventions that helped to restore and conserve some resources. Community-based interventions include the construction of dikes and barriers to retain runoff rainwater and recharge the open wells. Farmer-based soil and water conservation measures include broad bed furrow, landform, and contour planting. These are useful for conserving soil and rainwater, fertilizer application, and weeding operations. The leguminous plant Gliricidia is planted on fields, bunds to strengthen them and make the soil nitrogen rich. Drip irrigation reduces water consumption by 70%, but only 2% of cultivable land around the world is irrigated in this manner. Wastelands are developed by custard apple plantation along with Gliricidia saplings on bunds to improve groundwater recharge. In Andhra Pradesh, Godavari and Krishna rivers are the major source of irrigation. Water is a renewable resource, but limitless exploitation of a resource leads to scarcity. According to the United Nations Development Programme, water resources in an area become scarce by a drop in annual water supply below 1700 cubic meter per person. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations has predicted that by 2025, 1.8 billion people will be living in countries or regions with absolute water scarcity. Watershed management is a scientific approach to soil and water conservation. Let us know about watershed management and the local system of irrigation encouraged for the protection of water resources. Parts of Himachal Pradesh had evolved a local system of canal irrigation called kuls over 400 years ago. The water flowing in the streams was diverted into man-made channels, carried to numerous villages down the hillside. The water from kuls is used for irrigation and percolated into the soil filling springs. Large dams are meant for the storage of adequate water for irrigation and electricity generation. Canal systems leading from the dams transfer large amounts of water over great distance. For example, the Indira Gandhi Canal has brought greenery to considerable areas of Rajasthan. The construction of large dams like the Tehri Dam on the river Ganga and raising the height of the Sardar Sarovar Dam on the river Narmada are opposed. This protest is known as the Narmada Bachao Andolan or Save the Narmada movement. This protest is due to the displacement of a large number of peasants and tribal without adequate compensation or rehabilitation. Economic problems like an investment of huge amounts of public money without the proportionate benefits. Environmental problems like deforestation and the loss of biological diversity. What is a suitable solution to address these issues? The solution is watershed management. It increases the production and income of the watershed community. This helps in fighting droughts and floods and increases the life of the downstream dams and reservoirs. Various organizations have been working on rejuvenating ancient system of water harvesting as an alternative to the mega projects like dams. Water harvesting. Water harvesting is an age-old concept in India for recharging groundwater levels. Khadins, tanks and nadis in Rajasthan, bandras and tals in Maharashtra, bundis in Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, the ahars and pines in Bihar, kuls in Himachal Pradesh, ponds in the Kandi belt of Jammu region, and Aris tanks in Tamil Nadu. Surangams in Kerala and Kattas in Karnataka are some of the ancient water harvesting systems. The water harvesting structures are mainly crescent-shaped check dams built across seasonally flooded gullies. This helps to recharge wells and provides moisture for vegetation over a wide area. Therefore, conservation is the practice of caring for these resources for the benefit of all living things now and in the future. Thank you for watching this video.